Hey Cancer, welcome to Vivid Vibration Tarot. My name is Christina. I'm going to try this mic because I've noticed that the mic that I have for my phone, like when I'm outside, does not pick up like my voice over the wind and the noise and, the helicopters and what have you. So we're going to try this, see how it works. But Cancers, we got the fault line, the medallion, the mask, oops, and the warrior and the heart. Cancers. The fault line and the mask to me are, I feel like, because when you think about the concept behind the mask is a persona that you wear that you literally cannot take it on and off. Um, and I feel like Cancers, we've spent the past however many years being having our persona cracked away at, right? Um, like an example. I at one point in time in my life, if I knew myself then, oh my God, it would hate me. But I loved the Real Housewives, and I was a stay-at-home mom and a wife, and like probably my favorite thing ever, like is just was like being a wife and being a mother. Like that was just like a highlight of my life. But on the shadow side of that, I had this obsession with this like cultural mentality of like what it means to be, like a housewife, and how you have to have an aesthetic and you have to be, and I'm Leo AF, so like I'm about being cute. you know but like over the years since then, anything and everything that could possibly destroy this persona that I had acquired, it was destroyed. It was cracked away until it had to fall away. Um, and it's a painful process because you have to really look at yourself. And this is not a time in history when people look at themselves willingly, and I say that from experience, like you don't want to do it because it hurts, um, but I feel like that's what we've been doing. We've just been breaking away with this persona, this idea of who it is that we are and what that means. And it's, like when it looks like what it looks like to everybody else, Um, and, I know a lot of my cancers are married. Maybe that resonates with you. And if it doesn't, and then it's another thing that you held on to, whether you're an artist or a teacher or a what, like, I don't know, but it carried with it an image that you were really we have really just been having broken away from us. Right. um, and I know like the South Node eclipse is supposed to be kind of like this like sucking out of all of the bad, and Cancers, I feel like what's happened is that I feel like we're in a vacuum, and it's like all of the dust and all of the like the remnants of the mask that were there. It's like finally cleaning it out of your house. I'm like, yeah, all of my corners are clean. You know what I mean? What an amazing feeling. Um, and I feel like that's where we're at. Like we've just been having those last little bits of our persona cracked away. And now it's like it's being sucked into this vacuum that I think it might, I don't know. I don't know if it's that like we're coming out of a state of being triggered, or if we're going into a state where we might feel really triggered by something. But the warrior is the idea of like mind your battles. The medallion and the heart. Cancers, we are like the home and hearth, right? Like we love, like a cozy home and a healthy, happy relationship. I have never met a person who's married to a Cancer that does not love being married. You know what I mean? Other signs, yes. Cancers, no. Why? Because we're nurturers, because we fit into a stereotype of, like wanting to like love our husbands and or your wife or your partner or whatever, like I'm not like I'm for all loves and all people and all different ways, you know, like however that plays out for you. But we love our home, we love our family, and you know, like, and what does that mean for us? Um, for most of us, I think it means like just that, like happiness, you know, like home is where the heart is. You know, like that's such a Cancer thing to say. And it's such a Cancer vibe too, you know. But sometimes I think that before we're able to really embody like the full potential and the beauty of our gifts, we have to break away with personas and ideologies that really just prevent us from existing in that, I just want to say, like a pure state of pleasure, you know, because it's like, it's that's what we really want. You know. Yeah, I mean, we want to take care of our loved ones. We want to take care of our significant others. We want to take care of everything. We want to make our homes beautiful, and we want to, you know, like I know it's such a trad wife thing, but like whatever, it is what it is. You know what I mean? And I hate stereotypes like that because they lock you into a persona, right? And that's the very persona that we've been trying to break away from, because that's not, like, we identify as so much more than that, right? For my Cancer men's, it's the same concept for y'all, but husbands, you know, like I know, you know, some of y'all like to hunt and you like to fish and you like to build and you like to be able to create and take care of your home and take care of the ones that you love. You know what I mean? Like, you're a traditional husband, you know, like it's just like there's something about us that's very traditional, that we love, you know, it is like our happiest place in the world. um, I don't know. Okay. But sometimes it's uncomfortable, like expressing that, you know, because it's not very feminist of us. And if we're progressive, if we're, you know, like out of the box in any way, you know, like sometimes you just feel a little bit like, well, I don't know, I'll just avoid those conversations, I guess, you know, because it's like, I don't want people to not respect me or not think that I think women belong in that role, because I don't think that, you know, men or women belong in any traditional mandatory role. I think we're bigger than that. But that's not to say that some of us won't resonate with it, you know? And so we've had to work on ourselves because we've had to step outside of these personas and allow for it all to just crumble away, you know, while we mourn the losses that we experience. And fuck, Cancer's ever, like, I was crying in the last read too. Y'all get on my strings. But I feel like because we've worked, because we've broken away with this persona, we can rise up in like this purest form of who it is that we naturally are, and come back to life and come back to ourselves, in a way that feels like home to us. Okay, Cancers, what else can I get for us? Oof, eek, the Ten of Swords, King of Swords, the Three of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Two of Wands. Well, I mean, there's a lot of separation from, you know, people who want to, because here's the thing with like systems or you know, like personas, or you know, like styles, or you know, like, because we're taught from the beginning to, like, this is like what I know, some of my Cancers were homeschooled, and you know, they want a non-traditional life, but like they don't, that they fit into a traditional role that like is the very role that they're trying to reject as women, right? And I feel like there's just this idea of like feeling like you have to reject yourself, because if you don't, you'll be locked into this image that literally infuriates you, like makes your blood boil on behalf of other people, right? Because we're like the mothers, and have you met a Cancer mother who like feels like her children are under attack, like shit will get nasty. You know what I mean? Because it's like, because we want to protect it, because it's our home and our family. and feeling like this somehow has limited us in our roles as women, in our roles as mothers, and our roles as daughters, you know, to the point where we had to really part ways because it wasn't, it was fake. You know, it's like, don't ask me to pretend to be something that I naturally am and then tell me that I'm doing it wrong because I have to do it the way that you want me to do it. You know, like that's so fucked up. And I feel like that's just something that we've really been dealing with and really been. And so as a result, I think also a lot of us, for my single cancers, you know, or my non-married cancers, I feel like for us, it's been really difficult for us to accept any of the relationships that have been brought to our table because I think 9 times out of 10, we feel like people don't see us in our entirety. They see that persona of the trad wife and they want to put us in that position. And it's like, listen, if I'm being forced to carry out something that would otherwise feel natural to me in an unnatural way, this is not going to work, you know? And so we've walked away because it should feel natural. It has felt natural, so it will feel natural, right? All right, Cancers. Let's do one last card for us and we'll call it a read. The comic. It's so funny because I was reading, I don't remember what the last read that I did was with the comic, but I literally felt like the imagery that was always associated to this card with me felt like almost like completely wrong. And so I looked up the book because it's been probably a couple of years since I've even looked at the book. And, but I mean, it's an amazing book and it's very well written. And I, you know, like I enjoyed building a relationship with these cards and learning them. But, you know, obviously it takes on its own meaning over time. And so I just wanted to like touch base with it again. And it's kind of the idea of, the level of brilliance that it requires to be able to find humor in a situation, you know, because in order to find a reason to laugh, you have to be able to understand all of the different things, because if you can't, then you're going to be stuck in a place of just tears and frustrations and how, you know, like oftentimes, I don't know how much that's picking up on this mic, so I just wait. But how oftentimes we're treated like we're not as smart because we fall into a traditional role, and how that is so infuriating because in all reality, it's that I can see all of these things and I can find the humor in it all, but like I'm not going to allow it to prevent me from standing in the sincerest, most sincere version of myself, right? And Cancers, I think there has been a lot of people treating you like you're a little bit dumb, or like maybe you're just like not quite like get in your place, know your place, and you just feeling like, tell me what my place is one more fucking time based on some bullshit idea of what you think it means for me to be a trad wife or a trad whatever. You know what I mean? Like, tell me one more time that I have to stay in that one hole, that one little pigeonhole that you didn't even create because you're not even imagining enough to create anything. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you feel so pissed and so frustrated and so like, oh my God, like please stop sticking me in these ideas. And I know for some women, you know, it's like, oh, you work as a sex worker, you know, like you're a stripper, or you're this or you're that, and so that means that you're only good for one thing, you know, like, and no, you're so much more than what you do for a living, you know, whether you're a stripper or you're a CEO, you know, like you are not defined by any one thing in your life. And when you tend to be a very traditional person, when you tend to want to be in a traditional role, and yet you feel limited by the persona that you are required to wear and being in that role, it's really frustrating as fuck. And Cancers, I feel like we've just been breaking out of it, breaking away from it, and it feels like the vacuum sucking up all of the remnants of this mask that has been broken away piece by piece by all the things that were going wrong in our lives, that were forcing us to let go of a persona that we clung to because it felt like the closest thing to home that we had. Oh, Cancers. All right. I love y'all so much. Thank you for spending some time with me. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe if this does resonate, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.